as a result.
Now, minicab drivers, there's been a huge change in this industry in the last few years, so they're in court.
Yes, here in London they're in court. They're not happy that Transport for London is making them pay the congestion charge too. Previously they were exempt, along with black cab drivers, but TfL has changed that. They say it's because there have been too many minicabs, as you say. Industry has changed fundamentally with the likes of Uber, and they need to do something to tackle air pollution. But the minicab drivers themselves say this is unfair because, as they point out, most minicab drivers are from ethnic minorities, whereas most black cab drivers are white. So let's talk now to their union leader, James Farrar, who joins us now. James, I want to talk first of all about the race aspect of this case. Undoubtedly this will have a disproportionate impact on drivers from ethnic communities, but are you suggesting that this is somehow racist?
Well, we're suggesting, no, not overtly racist. We're suggesting that this is about indirect discrimination. But we would also posit, though, that there is a problem of institutional racism at Transport for London. It isn't just to do with the congestion charge. If we look at other things, the licence fee is 20% higher for minicab drivers than it is for black cab drivers. We see that enforcement stops. You're 4 times more likely to be stopped on an enforcement stop by Transport for London as a minicab driver than you would be as a black cab driver, even though our compliance rates are consistently higher. So we would suggest that there is a problem of institutional racism at Transport for London, although we would suggest that this decision amounts to indirect discrimination.
It's something that I know TfL will reject, obviously, but I suppose their point is that minicab numbers have grown a lot, what with the boom in the likes of apps like Uber, and something's got to be done to bring the numbers down, because of course minicab numbers aren't restricted in quite the same way as black cab drivers' numbers are.
Yeah, now we would agree. There's far too many minicab drivers in London, and it's very difficult to make a living because you're oversupplying this network. But what Transport for London's failed to do is put the stimulus in the right place. So minicab drivers will now spend £3,243 a year in congestion charging and licence fees to Transport for London, whereas Uber will only pay £14 per year. So the disparity is really great. And the real driver of this supply of vehicles is these operators, not the drivers. For example, since the congestion charge exemption was removed in April, we've actually seen an increase by 2% in the number of vehicles licensed by Transport for London, and that's because we've had the arrival of 2 big rivals to Uber, Captain in May and then Bolt in June, and we're going to have Ola in September. That's what's driving the numbers, not the drivers. So it's not fair to put this burden on drivers when to tackle the problem you need to tackle the operators.
James Farrar, there we'll have to leave it. Thank you very much.
Thank
James
you.
Farrar there from the minicab drivers union. We should point out Transport for London robustly defending its position, it says, against this legal action.